Namaste, everybody. I'm Duncan. I'll be your guide through this foam rolling journey. Today we're going to be focusing on our lower body through this foam rolling session, spending about a minute or so on each body part, just teaching you guys how to roll. Remember, we do our foam rolling for a warm-up or a cool down. Foam rolling helps relax our muscles and brings blood flow. Foam rolling doesn't change our muscles in terms of muscle length or breaking down the connective tissue in our muscles. So when we foam roll, we don't want to spend all day in there, just a couple minutes on each spot, foam rolling nice and slow. When we get to a spot that hurts a little bit, we're going to breathe and relax into it, and then we'll continue rolling slow in your muscles. Okay, so starting off, usually when I go my lower body, I just start off sitting on it, kind of roll out my glutes a little bit. So as we start with this one, we're going to go for just 30 seconds, starting now, just kind of arms behind you, easily rolling back your glutes. I wore my shortest shorts today on purpose. You're welcome. Just kind of rolling your glutes out just a little bit. And this is easy when you're talking to your friends, warming up or cool down. Just a nice way to kind of get involved and ease into kind of the lower body session, just because the quads and the inner thighs can be a little bit more painful. So this gets you started. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. The next one, we're gonna stay with our glutes, but from here, if we'll go from the side just a little bit, we're gonna make a figure 4 with our legs. I'm not super flexible, but from this position, it kind of stretches my glute medius out right here, my piriformis. So I'm gonna turn my body onto this part, and then I'm gonna roll a different part of my glute. We'll go for 30 seconds here too. Now with the foam roller, depending on the type that you have, I know some of these can have like spikes and look like medieval torture tools. But the best thing to get in this position is actually going to be a lacrosse ball. And it's a similar concept. It's called myofascial release. But basically that lacrosse ball is a little bit more pinpoint in terms of like getting into your glute muscle right here. So that's what I like to use for this and kind of my shoulders and pecs. 3 seconds, we'll switch legs. 2, 1, and go. Switching sides. Remember, figure 4, twist onto that glute for the knee that's bent. Slowly rolling back and forth. When you get to a spot that hurts, don't forget to breathe. Should have had some like yoga music in the background, whatever that is. 10 more seconds. Going fast with this one. 5 seconds. Slowly back and forth. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice. So from here, I kind of work my way down the back of my legs just because that's what I started with. So I'll go to my hamstrings. Now it depends how long your foam roller is. You can do both legs or one leg at a time if you want a little bit more pressure. From here I can actually just put this leg over and have more of my weight on the foam roller. It's whatever you can tolerate. Just like a massage, we don't want to make it too painful to where you end up tensing up. We want to be able to relax and breathe through it. So I'm gonna go 1 minute right here for our hamstrings. I'm gonna demonstrate kind of alternating. But the best way to do it is probably on one side, just depending how you feel. So I'll switch every 20 seconds for you guys, just to show you different versions. For now, just focus on that breathing again, and nice and slow. I know the hamstrings, again, you might not feel a spot where you need to stop and relax, but definitely when you get to our quads. So just keep that in mind right now. Good. And I'm gonna go to one leg. You can also roll different parts of your leg and your quad. You don't just have to stay straight up and down. You can angle your body just a little bit. Play around with kind of muscles that are sore for you. Good, and switching legs, 20 seconds. You can use your hands behind you for a base, obviously so you don't fall down. Slowly kind of moving in and out. Each time you roll, you can kind of move your leg as you do it in different positions. Good, and relax. Nice job. So from here, I'm just gonna sink down and get my calves. You can do it the exact same way as you did your hamstrings. You can have both calves on there, which is usually what I start out with, just kind of bringing my knees up and back down. You can bring your butt up and roll back and forth. I'm gonna start that 1 minute clock now. So bringing my butt off puts a little bit more pressure on my calves. If you're really tight right here, or you can handle a little bit more pressure, again, crossing your legs, so there's more pressure on that foam roller, rolling back and forth. Now initially the bottom of your calf's not gonna be too bad, but rolling on the side like this can be pretty painful. So find a spot. This hurts for me, so I'm gonna breathe and relax my muscle into the tension of that foam roller. When I've taken a couple deep breaths, I'm gonna just continue to go down and back up. Again, you can just play around with how you use it. It's not gonna be a one size fits all with this foam roller. And sometimes I'll just sit here without actually moving the foam roller and just bring my knees together and apart on kind of areas that hurt my calves, which are usually kind of my upper mid calf, closer to my knees where I feel it the most. Foam rolling these would be good before and after running days, on days where you'll have double unders, box jumps, or even the Olympic lifts where it requires kind of an explosive jumping movement. Good. And relax on that. Nice. So rolling out those calves can also help your ankle mobility. And remember, we need that good ankle mobility when we're squatting to let our knees go forward. So depending on the problem that you have or what you're trying to work on, you can adjust the foam rolling to be specific for you. Okay? Now we're gonna go for our quads. We're gonna go 1 minute on each side right here. Cool, and go. So I'm gonna start on my forearm. From here, I just have my quad on the foam roller. You can actually do both quads. I don't know if you can see that. You can do both legs right there just to kind of start it off. I usually do one just because it allows me to angle my body just a little bit and hit the different muscles in my quad. Quad means 4 if I pass geometry. So there's 4 different muscles in your leg right here. You're gonna be able to just move around just like we've been doing with our hamstrings just to get the right feel. And for me, these are gonna be the most tender. So I usually stop, and when it hurts, you can actually bend your knee up, bring your foot side to side just a little bit, and you can actually roll it with a bent knee just because that kind of changes the shape of your muscles just a little bit as y'all are rolling. I'm gonna show you a little different angle right here. Good, so that's kind of lengthening your muscle because you're squeezing your hamstring and bending your knee. You can roll up and down. This spot hurts. 5 seconds on this side. Good, that spot hurts for me. I'm gonna relax into it and slowly roll all the way up my leg. And go ahead and switch legs. So one thing that's really important with the quads is we don't want to, or with our thighs in general, we don't want to foam roll our IT band. Go ahead and keep rolling. Our IT band is that kind of tissue right here. That's not something that can be lengthened, and rolling it actually just causes more pressure, which can make the pain worse in your hip or in your knee. So when you're doing, or when you have IT band, foam roll your quads, foam roll your glute muscles, but try to avoid that IT band, which would be on the side, directly rolling like this. 20 seconds left for this quad. Good, slow, slow, slow. And I've been going a little bit fast. If you can tolerate it slowly, like I'm still moving even though it doesn't really look like it, slow. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice. So usually I spend about 2 minutes on my quads, 2 minutes on my calves in general, so about 1 per calf, just kind of based on how sore I am or how much I need. And usually my post-workout recovery is gonna be a little bit longer of a foam rolling session than my warm-up. My warm-up I'll do usually just quads, lats, and upper back, so like 5 minutes total between each of those, just to get me primed and moving. But for a cool down, depending on what I did that day, I'm gonna have most of the focus on that. So if I do deadlifts, hamstrings, calves, glutes. If I do a lot of squats, maybe glutes and quads that day. Like I said earlier with jumping, you can kind of focus on that, just because we don't want to spend so much time foam rolling that we're really missing out on the other things that are going to be a little bit more beneficial for recovery. It's a great way to just to relax your muscles and get you primed, okay? My favorite and the most seductive is going to be our inner thigh right here. You're welcome for that. Most people have to pay extra, all right? So from here, we're going to be laying on our forearms. That foam roller is going to be parallel to our torso, and my knee is going to be out. All right, I'm going to start a minute clock. 3, 2, 1, and go. So from here, you're just kind of rolling your body in and out. That's gonna be nice and close to your groin right there. Again, we're getting intimate. From here, I don't really feel that too much on my groin, but I do feel a stretch. So I can think about like turning my body away, and I'm actually getting a good stretch here in my groin. And then after I hold that, I can foam roll and I'm real tender right here. So that's where I spend most of my time. Kind of that adductor groin muscles a little bit. Something you can also do from here is actually extend your leg as you roll. Bend when you're on a sore spot. So this is tender for me. I'm gonna just extend my leg and bend it back and forth. You can move your leg internal and external rotation, just hitting your muscles in different ways. Nice, we got 5 seconds left. Namaste. 3, 2, 1, and switching sides. Same thing. You can do kind of short rolls, just back and forth on a spot that's tender, or you can actually roll like the whole muscle. So going through your entire leg all at once, nice and slow. Again, kind of bringing that leg out, so you can even squeeze your muscles just a little bit, see how it feels. Bend, foot up, down, and roll. I usually spend about 2 minutes here on my recovery as well, just because I know my quads are kind of a problem area. They're typically pretty tight. So I spend more time here than I would, say, my upper back. Usually only spend about a minute. We got 15 seconds left. Hard part is when we're focused on this, it can be uncomfortable and painful. So we like to hold our breath and tense up. Just try to relax into that foam roller as best you can. It's just gonna help you get kind of the most out of what you're going for. And relax. Very nice, guys. Awesome job. So with our foam rolling our lower body, we covered our glutes, just kind of the main glute muscle, our glute medius and piriformis, hamstrings, calves, quads, and adductors in here. Now all this session can last for quite a while if you do 2 minutes on each one. I did it relatively quick. However, if you want to follow this video and add a little bit more time now that you know how to foam roll each section, play around with it, whatever's sore for you, whatever's kind of a problem area maybe preventing you from having a comfortable squat or deadlift, spend some more time with that, 2 to 3 minutes. Remember, roll nice and slow. Whenever you feel a problem spot, something that hurts a little bit, breathe and relax on into it, and you can move your muscles and tense them up and move your legs different ways just to get you all a better foam roll experience. All right, thank you for tuning in. Namaste.